Oh, hello, hello. Welcome. It's good to see you. I'm Cheryl, and it has been a little bit since I've been on making a video. We had a family wedding. We went to Lodi, California. It was beautiful. And then we had family from Texas come visit. And in between that, I fell. So, I'm scraped up and bruised up, but I'm doing good. But that those things delayed the video. So here we are. Today I was going to do the hashtag show us your decks again, which is part 2 from Feeding Your Soul 1212. I love these. I think they're a lot of fun because they're random and you get to see some different decks I might not necessarily pull out. So I think that's really cool. So let's get started with the first prompt. It is a deck with a quote on the inside of the box. And for that one, I chose the Numinous Astro deck by Ruby Warrington and Bess Matassa. And on the inside of this deck box, it says, the particles of stardust from which our soul is woven, the numinous, is the unknowable essence of our being. And it does come with a good-sized book that talks about the basics of astrology, and then it goes into the cards. And I'll show you. This is, a pretty regular astrology deck in the facts that it does the signs, the houses. It's modern in the artwork, and then it does have keywords at the bottom. So I really like these. The top ones are mine, so that's why they're a little out of order. So they're divided up into what you would expect. And I'd like this deck because of the modern artwork and the collage work and the fact that it has the main keyword and then other keywords. So it makes it really easy to use too. And then we'll get into some of the signs like Aquarius, the radical, and it goes pow. I like it. So that was just a quick show of the Numinous that had a quote inside the box. The next one is a deck with a damaged boxer card. And this one that I chose, I actually got this way. Let me find it here. It is a vintage deck. So it is older, and I actually received it with a tore up box. It's Terror of the Witches, made in Switzerland by A.G. Mueller in U.S. Games. Doesn't seem to have another author on it or creator. And it did come with the little, Stuart Kaplan. Well, there you go. I think this deck might still be around. Not this version. This version was in 1970, maybe. I could have looked this up ahead of time, huh? I don't know. Around the 1970s. 1973. There we go. So these are the backs of the vintage. So yeah, the cards are in really good shape for being as old as it is. It's like 50 years old. But the box, did not make it through all those years without some issues. But I like this deck. I like the colors of it. And I do like that it has like a vintage vibe with the way the colors are, and the cardstock is definitely more playing card feeling. Yeah, so that was Terror of the Witches, which was my beat up box. So I put it in a nice bag that I made for it to keep it protected a little while longer. The next prompt is a deck with one or several renamed cards. And I actually showed this in another video. and they renamed pretty much all the cards. It's the Sherlock Holmes Tarot by John Matthews and Wilkingham. Wisdom from the First Consulting Detective. So these have completely, if I can get the box open, renamed the majors, the suits, and I believe the minors. So it's renamed everything. Like the Fool is Inspector Lestrade, the Magician is the Great Detective, the High Priestess is Irene Adler, the Empress is the Queen Empress, and the Emperor is the Prince Consort. So if you know anything about Sherlock Holmes, these names will seem familiar. The World is the London Times, the Last Judgment is the Final Problem. And then the minor arcana, they changed swords as observation, wands as evidence, analysis as cups, and deduction as pentacles. The court cards, they changed. The Baker Street Irregulars are the pages. The knights are the peeler. Queen is lady, and king is inspector. So they completely changed everything in this deck. And I got this when I first started tarot and could not read with it because I was still learning, and it wasn't, because they rechanged everything, renamed everything, it was difficult to read with. But now I think it's fun. They do have the little symbol up here, so you know what suit it is. And I love how you just get completely into Sherlock Holmes's world and his mysteries. I love mysteries. That's my favorite thing to read, my favorite thing to watch on TV, favorite movies. Love mysteries. So yeah, that is the Sherlock Holmes Tarot that has several renamed cards. Basically, it has every renamed card. Next is a deck with reversible backs. Now, there are plenty of decks that have reversible backs. I chose the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian C. Wilde. I think I've shown this kind of recently too. I have a couple of the editions, and there are the backs. So as you can see, it's a mandala and it goes both ways. This is an animal deck. I love how it is not bright colors. It's mainly black and gray, and then pops of color with the white background. So it just really kind of stands out. And this was also one of the original decks I got, was the second edition. This is the third edition, and they changed just some of the artwork and coloring in it. And they also changed titles of the cards. The court cards, and the universe is the world. So yeah, that is the Naked Heart Tarot for a deck with reversible backs. The next prompt is a deck with a star on the box. And I chose the Supernova Tarot by Federico Salis. And it's got stars. It's got little stars behind there too. I love this deck. I haven't had it all that long, but this is a fun deck. I call it my Queen / Freddie Mercury deck. And you might be able to tell why when I show you some of the cards. There's the backs. But there are cards that are just great. They have like high-heeled boots on some of the people and great mustaches. And it's a fun deck. It reads great. It is a glossy deck. So if that's not a thing, it is super glossy. But I love the artwork. It's kind of like the Art Nouveau style, but then it's also somehow been modernized. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune with the Wheel of Fortune. Let me find my Freddie Mercury card. Hold on here. Well, here's one because of the mustache, but he's in a wheelchair for the Chariot. And let's see here. Now, this fool cracks me up. He is in Birkenstocks. And I love this fool. I think he's great. Watch me take forever to be able to find the card that I was thinking of. Yep, still haven't come across it. Whoops. Here's one of the Emperor in the boots. High heel boots. Love, love, love. No, can't find it. I'm not going to keep you any longer. Anyway, so this is the Supernova Tarot, and I love reading with this deck. This is one of the ones I'm using a lot right now. And that has, even when you take the lid off, there's stars there too. The next prompt, if I can get these in the box, hello, is a deck with no or few people in the minors. And I chose a pip deck, but it's one I haven't shown before, and it is the Enchanted Love Tarot by Amy Zerner and Monte Farber. And this deck, when I used to do relationship readings for people, this deck reads amazingly. It comes with a really good book. It also changed the suits. So you have wings, roses, what else? Shells, and gems as the suits. And since it's a pip deck, there are no people in the minors. Here, let me show you some of it. Here are the backs. See, two of shells, romance. I love how it has a keyword too, because when I'm trying to read quickly, that'll help. That helps me some too. Keywords on the pips. So I don't have to think about it. I don't need it as much on the majors, but I'm not a really good pip reader. So there's 8 of roses, which is wands. Signals is the keyword. And I did write what they were. 8 of gems is earth, perfectionism. And then Prince of Shells, the charmer. Queen of Gems, which is pentacles, the nurturer. 3 of water, shells, celebration. Yeah. And it gives it, and the way the colors are, gives that romantic vibe too. And it really does read well for relationship readings. I just don't do hardly any now. So I don't pull this out very often. But this is the no people and the minors. 3 of wings, which is swords. 9 of gems, independence. So that was the Enchanted Love Tarot. And so next is a deck that doesn't have a person on the Fool card. And I cheated a little bit with this too, because I chose Sassy Dragons. It has a dragon on the Fool card. This is by Peggy Papez, illustrated by Andrew Rodgers and Christopher Penzel. Love, love, love this deck. I love the size of it. I love the artwork. I love the sassy sayings on them. There are the backs. It's edged in this yellow. And if you haven't seen this before, I would be surprised, but I have the not safe for work one, so there are cuss words. But each card, it says what the card is, and then it tells you basically a piece of truth. And I'm trying to find one that does not have a cuss word. Like 10 of Wands. Sure, you can move mountains, but is the hernia worth it? You're carrying a heavy load. Consider lightening it. It's a lovely cardstock. It's so easy to shuffle because the size fits in your hand perfectly. Now, if I can find the Fool, you know, because setting up ahead of time was probably just beyond my ability right now. So we're just going to try to get through here quickly and find it. No. Did I put it on the other side? Nope. Oh my goodness. Well, I guarantee it has a dragon on it. A cute little dragon. Wow. Oop, then there's an extra card. There we go. It took me forever. There's the Fool with the cute little dragon and his little creature instead of a dog or anything, his little creature. And it says, here's a cuss, let the shit show begin. Now is not the time to worry. Just jump in. Yep. So yeah, love this deck. Sassy Dragons by Peggy Papez. You can get it on Supported Tarot Etsy. And it's cute and it just reads really well. There's also a version that does not have cuss words, reads just as well, and still has some great little quotes on it. I just tend to be a little cussy person. Try not to, you know, but it escapes out a lot. So that was my deck that does not have a person on the Fool card. The next prompt is a deck with my favorite box design. And that is, as I reach over to grab it, the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot by Ethony. The box is soft, which I love, and it opens this way. The book is soft. Love this deck. I think it's the box is pretty. And I'll show you some of the cards. You can still get this on Ethony's website too. There are the backs. And it's gilded on the edges. Yes, I've shown this before because I'm absolutely in love with this deck. The colors, the modern viewpoint of it, the inclusiveness, diversity is amazing. And she put a lot of work and effort, not just into the deck, but into the box, into the book. Put a lot into it so you can get so much out of it. Try to find it. There we go. We'll end on the 10 of Cups. And I wanted to show you the book. The way she did the book is really great too. Real quick. So you open every card, has 2 pages. And she does the upright meanings, yes or no meanings, and the reverse yes or no. And then the picture of the card and then each thing she's pointing out. Like this is the 6 of Cups. So there's a crow, a teenager, there's children, forget-me-not flowers, and bubbles in there. And there's little meaning as to what that represents. And the book is also divided into colors according to suit. You can't really see it that well, but makes it easy to open up too. Great book. Love it. So that was the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot by Ethony. Then a deck I've made a 180-degree turnaround about. When I purchased it, I wasn't sure I'd like it, but I absolutely love it. I've shown it before, so I won't spend a lot of time. It is the This Might Hurt Tarot. I was a little iffy when I bought it, and it reads amazing. It says this might hurt, but it's actually, for me, it's gentle Another modern artwork, RWS. But I love this deck. So completely turned me around on it. I also have the This Might Help Oracle that I do not connect with. So I've tried a few times. But this, the tarot, yes, definitely turned around on. And I always wonder, why did I buy it if I didn't think I was going to connect with it? And I actually cannot answer that question. I don't remember, but something was telling me to get it, obviously. And thank goodness I did. It's one of my faves. I use it probably the most often right now is this one. All right, so there's the King of Wands. We'll end on that one. So yeah, the This Might Hurt, and it is by Isabella Rotman. The next prompt is a deck with an even numbered major on the box artwork. And I picked, which includes the High Priestess, Emperor, Lover, Strength, or Wheel, etc. And this one is the Zodiac Tarot. And it has the Strength card on. It also has, I think, some other majors. That's probably the Moon. Not sure which one that is. It's by Cecilia Lattari and illustrated by Anna Chavez. And I actually got this. Well, now I can't remember the name. Amethyst Ascension, I think. It is high gloss deck. But yeah, this one had the Strength card on it. I thought it was a little different. A lot of boxes have the High Priestess. But it was nice to have a different major on the box. And then these cards also have the astrology signs. Or elementals, I guess, if you're in the court cards. So yeah, it would be, I mean, it is the Zodiac Tarot. It would be good. You could use it probably for a deck and walk pretty easy because they're pretty clear on there. I like the artwork. It doesn't bother me that it's high gloss, but I know that does bother some people. But yeah, so there's the Zodiac Tarot with the Strength card. I lost the box. The Strength picture on the box. Next, we have a deck on my tarot shelf or storage area with a box facing the opposite direction from the others. And this is harder than you think to find. So I actually found one. I haven't read with this deck in a while, but it is the Barbieri Tarot. And if you see, it points this way, which is to my right. And when I pull out other decks, I was trying to, they all went to the pointing to the left. So I actually found one, but it wasn't easy. I'm looking at all my decks like, no, they're either facing the same direction or they're facing straight on. So this deck I've had for quite a while. It is by Barbieri, and I don't know the full name. Does it say? Of course not. That would be too easy. Here we go. By Barbara Moore and artwork by Paolo Barbieri. And it is a fantasy deck, which I'm not into fantasy decks. I was when I bought this a long time ago. I like the dark fantasy of it. Now I'm not in it so much. I don't read with it very often. But this was the only one I could find that on a shelf, the title faced the other direction. I do love this deck. I think the artwork is stunning. in this deck. It's just not my vibe where I'm at right now, so I haven't read with it, but it is really beautiful. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the colors and the imagery, it's just amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. And I did this a long time ago on a one of those, in a month you show a card a day on Instagram, and I tagged Barbieri because, you know, that's the name of the deck and the author, the artist. And there is a band, and the guy's name is Barbieri, so we ended up following each other. It's just random. I don't know how popular he is or what country he was from, but yeah, it was hilarious. So, all right, that was the Barbieri Tarot, my oddball out deck. Then I have a lonely deck, a deck I don't store with my other decks. And I mean, there's a deck in my purse, so I guess that doesn't count, or it does count. But what I chose to show is I have a large Thoth by Aleister Crowley and Frieda Harris. This one I actually ordered from the Ukraine, AGM Urania. It was made in Germany, and I got it through a Ukraine seller. I'm not sure how. I'm pretty sure you can get this through a US seller somewhere. I didn't do that though. I wanted a large Thoth because I wanted to be able to see the artwork bigger, closer up. So let me pull out the Barbieri card so you can see how much bigger it is. There you go. So it's a lot bigger. But when I decide to go study Thoth, which I'm going to do, I wanted to be able to see the images closer and not have to pull out a magnifying glass. My eyesight is not the greatest. The images can be a little cluttered. So that's why I chose to buy this large size. I also have the regular, which is, if you don't know, is actually a mini. The large is a regular, and this is like extra large. Like, I'm sorry, they're probably on drugs when they decided the size names of these cards, because none of them match what you think it's going to be. But I do have the regular, I have the large, and then this one of it. But yeah, I keep it separate. It's on my cart because I am going to study with it. So it's sitting out waiting. It hasn't gone anywhere yet. So that was the extra large Thoth Tarot that just sits all by its lonesome. I should put it with my other Thoth decks, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll still love me at the end of the day, right? Oh my goodness. A deck. Now we have a deck I associate with the current season, and I'm sure people have said this, whatever season they're in, but it is Seasons of the Witch, Litha. We're actually almost, by the time I make this video, to Lammas or Lanasa. But right now we're in Litha season. And I'm one of those, I start my season on the day and go from there. I don't cushion it on the other side. I don't know. I love these cards. I have all of them because I'm that kind of person. I love how colorful they are and that they edge them. So yeah, these are the cards I use. I've said it before, to really anchor me into the season. This is what I use to be present in where I'm at right now in the Wheel of the Year. And I usually just pull a card randomly for a message. I don't know, maybe once a week or so, sometimes more often, depending. If I'm really feeling it, then I'll definitely go in and do one of the spreads in the book or whatever. I do enjoy doing those too. I like how they did the Celtic cross for each season. I don't know if it's each season, but a lot of them have its own Celtic cross, and I find that really fun to do also. So this is the deck I associate with the current season. Seasons of the Witch, Letha Oracle by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz, illustrated by Tiana Lukovic. Next, we have a deck which my favorite animal makes an appearance. And I am so excited because I thought I was going to have to do my second favorite animal, which is the hummingbird. Because my favorite animal, I didn't think I had in a deck anywhere. And then I got lucky and I got this deck from Hay House, Sisterhood of the Seers by Athena Laz and Anna Santos. And it has my favorite animal, a panda bear. I love panda bears. I love watching them on Instagram and Facebook and whatever. They make me happy. They're teaching me how to find joy in life. It's just, I love this. So I was so excited. I am sure that there is a tarot deck that has a panda bear in it or as the theme. I just don't have it and I can't offhand think of it. So yeah, that's my favorite animal. This is a new deck from Hay House if you haven't seen it. I got it in the Hay House deck club that comes quarterly. And I'm glad I got it. When it first came, because you never know what you're going to get ahead of time. I was a little disappointed. Well, I wasn't disappointed is not the right word. The deck confused me a little bit because it's Seers, Sisterhood of the Seers, and they have seer cards in here, which we will come upon one. And then it said that the seer cards are attached to 3 other cards. So you can have like a little 4-card, set for a reading. See, here's one of the here's. The seer of healing, rest, let it go, see it differently. But in order to come up with the cards that go along with the seer card, you have to actually count or keep track of the number of the cards. Like it's not a clear, like this card and this card have the same symbol or anything like that. So that was just different. But I'm so glad I have it now because of the panda bear, which I randomly drew. And that just said everything. So the artwork's pretty. It's got a matte cardstock. Yeah, I really like it. And I especially like it for my panda bear card, which sits on my little shelf to remind me to focus on self-care and to enjoy life and just be a big goofball. I mean, panda bears are just huge goofballs. That's why I love them. So let me go set that up there. And then the last one, number 15, is a deck with a rainbow either on the box or in the cards. And this one was a given. It is the Star Tarot. Here are the backs. And this deck has so many rainbows in it. I love this deck. It's also gold edging. It is like an RWS Thoth combined one. Very colorful. The symbols are amazing. And there are rainbows all over these cards. Love. This deck just makes me happy just because of the rainbows and the colors. I mean, 10 of Swords, and it has a rainbow. So you can't be that mad about it if it has a rainbow. Yes, love this deck. The guidebook's amazing. It goes through every single symbol that's on each card. So it's very detailed guidebook. It's also easy to read because you could just pick up on the symbols without the guidebook and whatever it's saying to you. But it makes me very happy. Very rainbowy. I was waiting, looking for another rainbow. Look, it's calling me a liar. It only has 3. Okay, come on now. That's rainbowy, a little bit. Those are very colorful. There we go. Queen of Swords, rainbow. Love, love, love. All right. So that was it. That was the Show Us Your Decks Again, part 2 from Feeding Your Soul 1212. Be sure, if you haven't seen my part 1, check it out. It's a few videos ago. Head over to Feeding Your Soul 1212. Hers were so much fun. And she also posts other people have done it. So you can go to one place and see a whole bunch of them. And I just think it's a lot of fun. And I think that's it. Thank you for showing up. Hit the like if you haven't, please. Subscribe if you're not. And hopefully I won't be gone as long as this time. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.